just being able to figure out to get that working was tough, because I'd go and meet people and they'd be like, "Oh man, I love your band," and I'd be like, "I also do things with pants on," and it was hard to sort of convince people of that, and also it was hard how to integrate that personality. And I'd always worked in like jobby jobs, particularly in like creative and marketing, and I'd always try and pass like a professional person, and really when I went back to work sort of in my mid-40s after this period that was like really rough, I was like, I gotta go back and be the person that like you see every day, be the person that people see on stage, and figure out how to really be that person in a way that made sense for day to day. I don't know, that didn't really make much sense there. But.
No, it did. Was it scary for you to see your friend that you love in manic or depressive states?
I wouldn't say that. I trust my relationship with Tim, and I think the Story 5 exists because we both agree on things and are completely see the world differently, and because of that, we've been incredibly honest and vulnerable with each other for, I know, since 1995. So as Tim started to share his process with us, we were very supportive and felt very connected to him because of that, because of our history with him. Tim has always been one of the most courageous people I've ever met, and because of that, I've been able to, and I think the other guys in the band have been able to support him and or each other in that way. When I first met Tim, he was at RISD and he was wearing a tail, and or decided not to talk to anyone for a week as an experiment. So even those small little fun creative art school things, I really appreciated meeting him in that place and going on that journey with him, both as a creative genius, but also as someone who wanted to challenge life. And as this, as his bipolar was revealed, it made sense to us. But I think because of our friendship and our deep connection over 25 years, we were able to really see him and support him.
I'm Jesse Thorne. You're listening to Bullseye. I'm talking with Tim Harrington and Sid Butler. They're two of the members of the band Les Savy Fav. Tim, did you have to explain to your doctor or therapist or someone else in your life that your job was in substantial part enacting mania on stage?
Yes, it definitely was like, we're gonna need to pull up Google real quick so you can really understand the picture. But even then, I feel like my doctor, he's awesome. And
because the people in my life that are bipolar, their job is IT support, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to worry about, they're very creative as well, and that's essential to their life, but they don't have to worry about if I cramp my style by whatever, taking my lithium or whatever.
Yeah.
Am I not going to pay my rent or whatever?
Yeah. Well, luckily the band overpaid my rent, so.
Right.
But,
fair.
I mean, it's like on stage, it's just such an easy place to access for me, and I have never really felt. It's always felt super safe. It's funny how completely safe I feel performing. Even though I'm objectively physically unsafe sometimes, but it's I feel like, oh wow, it's so amazing. You're just so out there, and you go out there and you have no concern. And I feel like as safe in an audience as I would I don't know what, being held in someone's arms. It just feels completely natural and safe to me. Weirdly, I feel much more, on the record, there's some songs that are more vulnerable, and that's so much more difficult than just splatting myself out. It's very easy for me to just dump the paint bucket that is me everywhere. It's kind of harder to show me holding the paint bucket. just doing normal things. It's really easy for me to do things that are kind of out there. You know, so I think the hardest part really comes down to just sitting with things, not like trying to push the thing in one direction or another, and be able to identify that as a good thing. You know, I think that even as I say it, I'm like, oh no, like you want it to be like a big one direction or big one the other direction, like creative art, that thing. And yeah, the hardest part is to be like, no, I'm still the creative person, even when I'm not behaving in a way that's like a cliche trope of an artist, I guess. You know, and it's hard to identify that, I think, and it's hard to for me to look at myself and be like, oh, I'm a normal guy. I mean, like, that's fine, turns out. It's hard to be a normal guy.
Thank you for your time. It's really nice to see you. I hope it won't be so long until the next time.
Yeah, we're going to be out in LA in September.
Great. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
All right.
Les Savvy 5, Tim Harrington, and Sid Butler. The song you're hearing is Let's Get Out of Here. So, why don't we? That's the end of another episode of Bullseye. Bullseye created from the homes of me and the staff of Maximum Fun in and around greater Los Angeles, California. Here in Los Angeles, my dog, Junior, I got a nice new leather collar. Beautiful, buttery leather collar. I figured this dog's going to have this forever. And then he immediately jumped headfirst into a wading pool, soaked it completely, and got all weird. I'm not going to buy another one. Anyway, he's a good dog. Our show is produced by Speaking Into Microphones. Our senior producer is Kevin Ferguson. Our producers are Jesus Ambrosio and Richard Roby. Our production fellow at Maximum Fun, Daniel Juecias. We get booking help from Mara Davis. By the way, Mara lives in Atlanta, Georgia, which is the home of Georgia Public Broadcasting, GPB. We are making our debut on GPB this week. We are so excited to be joining their lineup. Welcome, everybody out there in the Peach State. Special thanks this week to Neil at NPR New York for recording our interview with Sid and Tim of Les Savvy 5. Our interstitial music is by DJ W, also known as Dan Wally. Dan and me and our buddy Ben went to see Brent Weinbach's album recording, stand-up comedian Brent Weinbach. Truly one of the funniest dudes in the world. It was a great night out. Our theme song is called Huddle Formation, written and recorded by the Go Team. Our thanks to them and to their label Memphis Industries. You can find Bullseye on Instagram at Bullseye with Jesse Thorne. I am on Instagram at Jesse Thorne, very famous. You can also find us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. And I think that's about it. Just remember, all great radio hosts have a signature sign-off.
Bullseye with Jesse Thorne is a production of MaximumFun.org and is distributed by NPR.
A pharmaceutical company stopped making a popular asthma inhaler earlier this year, and this left people, including children, scrambling to find alternatives. Doctors across the country are having trouble finding replacement medication.
It was just as big a disaster as we thought it was going to be.
How kids are dealing with this medication shortage on the next morning edition from NPR News.
Listen tomorrow morning from 5 to 9 on WAMU 88.5.
Washington. Your listener-supported NPR news station from American University in HD at 88.5 on your smart speaker and at WAMU.org. It's midnight.